When I was only 6 months old, I was forced to be separated from my mother. Then a stranger tossed me a bone. Driven by starvation, I sank my teeth into it at once. But he stepped closer and closer. I guarded the food tightly. Yet he did not flinch, and stroked my head and back gently over and over again. Only later did I learn that this was called taming, the very first lesson to become a qualified sheepdog. A few days earlier, 2 men had lifted me up in front of my mother, feeling my bones to assess my build. They stuffed me into a woolen jacket soaked with sweat. The jolting ride wore on, and the familiar scent of home faded away bit by bit. They put a rope around my neck. As I looked at everything around me, I could feel the wind and see the flock of sheep, but there was no trace of the scent that meant home. They gave me a name, Dorjee, which symbolizes courage and good fortune. I stared at the lambs in front of me, their bodies wafting with the mixed smell of mutton and milk. These fragile little creatures were nothing but prey in the wild. But my mother had once told me that they were the master's treasures. Yet my arrival was far from welcome, especially to one black sheep. It would always charge at me suddenly, ramming its hard horns into my ribs with full force. The searing pain would make me curl up into a ball and whimper instinctively. Then the 2 humans would come running over and pin me down. I thought they were going to hurt me too, but instead, they covered my whole body with sheep dung. They believed that by mixing our scents this way, the flock would finally accept me. As time went by, I gradually grew accustomed to life here. One day, my master took me to see the torn corpse of a sheep. And I strained to memorize that acrid, fishy stench. It was the smell of death. I was 6 months old. Through constant learning and training, I finally earned my master's approval. Now I could herd the sheep all by myself. This grassland was home to countless sheep and goats waiting for my protection, including that black sheep with its shaggy bangs. My master was pleased with my work. He would laugh and play with me, patting my belly gently. I thought life would go on like this, peaceful and uneventful, until that winter came. When wolves run out of food, their eyes glow with a murderous green light. One gray shadow darted out of the snow, lunging straight at the sheep. Without a moment's hesitation, I charged forward. Flurries of snow were kicked up in our struggle, mingling with the smell of blood. But the wolf's sharp fangs, honed by years of fighting for survival, pierced through my thick fur like ice picks, tearing at my flesh and making me howl in pain. After a fierce tussle, it finally broke free from my grip and fled into the distance without looking back. I panted heavily and was about to give chase, but a call stopped me in my tracks. I bounded toward the voice, and my master knelt down, wrapping his arms tightly around me. "It's okay. Good boy, Dorjee. It's all right now." He lifted the fur on my shoulder and saw the gash left by the wolf's teeth. My coat was thick enough to keep the wound from being too deep. Now I have entered my 10th year of life. Over the years, I have taken down more than a dozen wolves. One day, the snow will bury my paw prints, and time will erase my scent from this land. But I am never afraid of fading away, because I know that where I fall, green grass will grow, and the flock will continue to graze on the land I once guarded with my life. Now I can say with pride, my name is Dorjee, and I am a qualified sheepdog.